Anna DeSimone, welcome to my living room.
Thank you for inviting me.
Where are you zooming in from?
I'm calling in from Connecticut, where I have a second home, and
Nice.
I've spent all of my time here for the past 4 months. Otherwise, I am in New York City
Yeah.
time.
Any plans to go back to Manhattan anytime soon?
Well, I'm going to be going once a month for a few days. I'm going to have my mail forwarded. I'm desperate for a haircut in color. My doctor and my dentist are there,
Yeah.
and you know, like.
Yeah, no, I went for my first haircut Saturday and it felt really, really nice. It's a process, obviously. You can't wait inside. You have to wait in your car. They have to call you in. There's a waiver. There's temperature checks. You wear a mask the whole time. So it's our new normal though.
Yeah.
And as long as my hair looks good, who cares?
Well, for what you do for a living. And so, well, in New Jersey is the Garden State. And I was so delighted that you are running your program here in New Jersey, because there are two Agrihoods in New Jersey that are amazing. But I wanted to tell you that in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, there are 300 farms. About half of them are community supported agriculture programs, and the other half are on-farm markets. There are actually more CSA programs in Pennsylvania than there are in the state of California, which would shock a lot of people. Now, there's thousands of farms in the United States, but the ones that I included in my book, which are 2,200 farms, are the ones that registered all of their products with the United States Department of Agriculture. So that's how I got my information. So what I did is I went through the list of, are they selling dairy? Are they selling poultry? Are they selling fruits? They pick your own. So I got all that information. So I ended up publishing the website addresses and the names of the farms all over the country so that people could go shopping. And instead of going to the grocery store to buy organic, locally sourced fruits and vegetables, they can go to an on-farm market in their own neighborhood, or they could enroll in what's called a community-supported agriculture program, which is like a weekly delivery. A family of four, it's about $100 a month. Now, if it's $25 a week, $30 a week, you're getting this big supply, either delivered to your house or you go to the farm to pick it up. And so what I talk about in the book is connecting with the farmer. It's like when you take your kids to the farm, it's like everyone gets to be Oscar the Grouch, because you see a squealing pig and everybody goes crazy. And, there's just something about being on farm, which, especially during this pandemic, times, the local farms have been there. In the New England area alone, we have hundreds of farms that are 4, 5, up to 8 generations old.
Wow.
Upstate New York, Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey. And I like to say that you're buying, people are hung up on the labels, the non-GMO, organic, the barcodes. But when you're talking to a 4th generation farmer, and he's explaining to you, we don't use any chemicals when we grow our food. That is integrity. I mean, that's someone whose grandparents and parents have been, growing local food. It's not about the labels, because organic food can still travel 2,000 miles. And, travel increases our carbon footprint. As food travel, it loses nutrition. So in my book, I actually cover what I call having the Agrihood lifestyle. So even if you don't live in an Agrihood, you can have that lifestyle by shopping at a local farm on a regular basis, getting to know your farmer, connecting with the farmer, or growing your own food.
Yeah. Well, the book is Welcome to the Agrihood, and it's great. It just came in the mail for me a few days ago, so I've been able to leaf through it. And no, it really has a lot of good tips and insights. And I am someone that loves organic food. One of my favorite things to do in the fall is to go apple picking because I cannot eat store-bought apples. Even if they have the organic label, I can't do it because it makes my throat itch. I don't know what they must spray something. So I can only eat apples literally picked from a tree. So I've, frequented many farms around New Jersey so I can get my fix. So you mentioned that there are two agrihoods in New Jersey, actually. Where are they?
Well, I'm glad. I mean, you're a hip New Jersey, so you will love this Agrihood because this is probably the most hip Agrihood in the country.
Okay.
It's in Harrison, and it's a rental community. So in order to have the Agrihood lifestyle, you don't have to buy a $500,000 home or a $300,000 home. You can actually rent an apartment. And what these apartment building, the urban Agrihood typically has a rooftop farm, an organic farm.
Wow.
And in the case of the one that's in New Jersey, and it was built by a Dutch company, the name of the company is called Concrete. And in Irby, you rent an apartment, but your apartment is very high tech, Energy Star features, floor to ceiling glass. So you have that, a lot of light coming in. The stairways are like completely open. So they're almost built like an office building. And then they have cafes, they have concerts, they have the chef table dining. They have like a little, they're building these apartment buildings because more and more people are going to be working from home, telecommuting. And of course, this building was around long before, we had a pandemic. But at the one in Harrison, New Jersey, has an organic farm, and it's managed, organically by a full-time agricultural team. So the food that is prepared for the cafes and the restaurant in the building come from the farm.
What's the name of this building?
It's called Irby, but
I know the Irby. Oh, wow. I had no idea that's what it featured though.
yeah, so there's Irby in New York, and then there's Irby in New Jersey, and they're all named Irby out of urban, but no two Irbies are alike. And this one has saltwater pools, and it's just an amazing place. A treehouse library. They've got their own little blues or jazz band that performs. But the other Agrihood is very unique. Now these are Agrihoods that are existing, not under development.
Yeah.
But there is an Agrihood called Pendry Neterar, which is in Peapack, New Jersey, which is just, it's in Somerset County, which is outside of Manhattan. And this was the former estate, a home of the King of Morocco. And so it's this huge chateau, and it's an antique, exquisite Tudor style mansion. And so it was on originally 500 acres of conservation land on the Raritan River. And, there's fly fishing there, there's horseback riding, and there's a lot of trails. So the developer did something really, really cool. He parceled off 100 acres for the Agrihood, and the other 400 acres is owned and managed by Somerset County. And so the people who live in the Agrihood get to use, they get to go hiking and walking through this trail. So the Tudor Mansion is actually an exclusive private club and a hotel, which is like one of these 5-star international Montage resorts. But the farm villas that they're building are 3,500 to 4,000 square feet. And I told the developer, rather than have an apartment in New York and a house in Connecticut, I would love to live in one of these farm villas, because then I wouldn't need to be a 2-home owner, and I would still only be a 60-minute ride into Manhattan, because I happen to love opera. And so I find that the whole concept of the Pendry Neterar Agrihood very appealing because it has a luxury spa. You've got energy efficient, high-end townhouses with like a 1,700 square foot terrace on the roof, like a penthouse roof above your townhouse. And then also concierge service. And, I don't like to give prices. My book talks about, these agrihoods, and I don't like to quote prices, but I could afford it. And so if I can afford it, you don't have to be that wealthy to buy it. But anyway, so the 90-acre organic farm has been in existence for a while. And the 90-acre restaurant is all the food from the farm. And
Very famous. Yep.
You've heard about it. And at Pendry, they have, like if you were going to have a wedding or an event, they're still doing events there. But I think that there's a waiting list just to get seated at the 90-acre restaurant. So those agrihoods are being under construction right now.
Wow.
All those villas are called farm villas.
Yeah. I just think that the pandemic, though, is showing us that there is such beauty in the simple life. I think you're going to see, and I've heard and read about, real estate trends. A lot of people are looking to get out of the urban areas because they don't want to live in close quarters. And I think that maybe all of our schedules will be a little different now, that we could enjoy nature for what it is. So maybe these things will be the next hip thing.
Well, it is. It's like, I've had this apartment in New York for 7 years, and I do a lot of walking in New York. And then I have this beautiful house, which is in an over 55 community in Connecticut. And I'm really into gardening and landscaping. So when I'm here, I would ride my bike. But for the 4 months that I've been here, I've been riding my bike 8 or 9 miles every single day without fail. And I am in much better shape. And I realized it's the fresh air. It's because I have ear trouble. And so the thing about it is, it's that aerobic exercise, because I'm near the shoreline. And so I find that I have an electric bike. So I'm really pushing it. But I'm also say I'm in my 70s. So the thing is,
I would never know that. You look.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I retired a while ago. I'm in my retirement. And so I've been pushing that bike, and it's actually helped my ear trouble. And I'm realizing now that no matter how much walking I did in New York, it's not the same as that salty air that I'm getting from riding along the shoreline and really doing the extra aerobic exercise. And so not only with the organic food, it's a whole lifestyle. I think that people are realizing that the crowds, the sporting events, the bars, the parties, all of those things that they've been doing now carry some risk. And they're looking to doing more at home, outside, al fresco dining. So yes, you're right about suburban homes are in more demand. In rural properties.
Well, where can people find out more about you, especially if they're plotting out their move from the city to the suburbs?
Well, the thing is, my book covers agrihoods in every state. So there's about 100 in America, and there's probably about 100 that are being planned. Right now, there are 3 new agrihoods under construction in Pennsylvania. And people who, if they want to learn about agriculture, they could even take classes at a Hilltop Farm, which is an urban farm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So they have an urban agriculture 3-year, like a degree program there. But my book, well, of course it's on Amazon, but it's, print and ebook, but all the information is on my website, which is DeSimone.net. And my other books too, because interest rates are down right now. And so my book, Housing 2020, Housing Finance 2020, is in both English and Spanish.
Oh, wow.
And so Hipoteca 2020. So actually I've sold more Spanish books than English books of the past 12 months. Just, it's almost neck and neck, but with interest rates being just a little over 3%, I think that agrihoods are a good option, but they're not in every state.
Yeah, well, Anna, this was so fun. I love what you're trying to promote. I think it's really cool. like we said off camera, we should be doing this, you know, again for your new book.
And
And,
next book, you'd like it, yeah, because it's really about buying the home that you want, that gives you that sustainable, healthy quality of life that's meaningful for you and your whole family.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anna, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your time in Connecticut,
Thank you.
and stay healthy and safe.
Okay, you too. Okay, bye, Lisa.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks, bye.